Hello lovely heads, welcome home. My name is Starlight, aka Hippie Gamer Chick, and I'm obsessed with spirituality. Thank you for watching today's video. In today's video I will be talking about coping with anxieties and the different ways that I cope with my own anxiety, a little bit about my story and when it first all started for me, and different techniques that help me. Just a disclaimer, I'm no expert, I still suffer from anxiety, but these are ways that have definitely eased it for me over the years. I have highs and lows, so obviously I feel like anxiety can be like a wave. You can get it under control sometimes where it's just smooth sailing, and then other times it's like this for me. It is a very, very hard mental illness to go through. So I first got anxiety or diagnosed with an anxiety disorder when I was 15. I remember I was just having panic attacks, and it started out as health anxiety, and if you don't know what that is, I constantly thought I was dying or I had some severe disease, and I think that stemmed from a lot of people in my life passing away when I was quite young from different diseases such as heart disease and cancer, and as I got older that only got worse. At that age I'd already lost quite a few family members to different things, and I was just brought up very fearful of that, and not because of anybody else but just I guess the trauma that surrounded that. So it started out with that, and then it branched out to all different types of things as I got older. Oh, anxiety is awful. If you're out there and you suffer from it, I know how you feel. I am so sorry that you're going through it, but I want you to know there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. There is always ways that you can alleviate it and get support that you need. So I'll go through some of the things that help me. So number one is breathing. And I know it's so obvious, it's so highly preached about from psychologists and meditation to breathe, but it is very important going back to your breath. So there's times where I feel like I'm literally trapped and I can't breathe and I can't concentrate on anything. For example, as I got older, some more traumatic events happened to me, and it got to a point of my anxiety turning into other things like OCD, and mental health issues felt out of control and I couldn't breathe or catch my breath, and sometimes I'd feel like the world was closing in on me. I'd feel like I was dying, especially when I first had a panic attack. I thought I was dying. It's a horrible feeling. It's reminding me to breathe right now actually. One of the best breathing techniques that I've found, and don't quote me on the pronunciation of this, is pranayama breathing. Basically it's alternate nostril breathing. So that sounds really weird, but it actually really helps. So basically you'll grab any finger, it can be, I usually use this finger. I'll do this in the midst of like severe anxiety. So yeah, I'll hold it, breathe in, and I'll count to 4 right until I get to the top. I stop, change the nostrils, and I breathe out. Excuse my whistly nose. And then I breathe in through that same nostril. So stop, switch, breathe out. And then from the same side. And I'll do this about 10 times or however many times I feel. I'll balance it out at the end, and that is amazing. So much oxygen into your blood. It really helps regulate your heartbeat and calms your nerves. So breathing also, the first breathing technique I ever learnt when I was 15, and I still use it to this day, is you breathe 1, 2, 3, hold for 3, and then breathe out for another 3. And then you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and you think in with the good, out with the bad. And I would do that 6 times. So that's another way, but just breathing, breath, it is the elixir of life. Breathing is so important, and we forget to breathe, and we don't realize when we're feeling anxious or we're on high alert. It's that fight or flight thing that comes in, our primal instincts, where our heart is just automatically racing and we're reacting to things that we wouldn't usually react to. So that's my number 1 thing. Number 2 is exercise. Now exercise is so important, and I know when you're feeling anxious and overwhelmed, it's the last thing you want to do. I know this because I've been there so many times where I can't. I'm so anxious that I feel like I can't do anything. But you can, and you can start small and you can do it. I highly recommend a YouTube channel called Yoga with Adriene because she lets you go at your own pace. You don't have to be some crazy yogi where you're crazy flexible, and she always says do what feels good. So I'll link her channel down below. She has like different 30-day yoga challenges. You can choose different things, like for example you can type in something like yoga for grief or yoga for anxiety into her channel, and she has so many videos. She's been doing it for so long. She was doing it for free for many years. I think she's finally monetizing her videos, which I have no idea why she didn't do that earlier because she's got a massive following, but that just shows you how giving she is and how amazing her work is. So I highly recommend her if you want to start with some gentle exercising. But then I do think some high intensity exercising is good. For example, I do boxing, I do Muay Thai, I do pole fitness, which is like pole dancing but the fitness side of it. I do belly dancing. At the moment I haven't been doing my belly dancing, but I've been doing my pole dancing and Muay Thai, and I also have an app on my phone which is like, it's only $20 a month. This is non-sponsored, I wish it was, but non-sponsored video. It's like a Kayla Einstein's, I can never pronounce her surname, but there's so many different apps out there, and it's like so cheap. So $20 a month, and it gives you a week-to-week workout, and you can start from beginner, intermediate, advanced. I started at intermediate and it just builds as you go along. So even if it's 30 minutes a day, and this is at home, you don't need equipment, you know, if you're someone who doesn't like going to the gym, or if you have social anxiety or just getting outside is hard enough, these home workouts can really help. So exercise is huge, even just walking every day. So I have a dog which really helps me to walk. I'll walk her down to the beach every day, but it just gets that blood flowing again. Healthy body, healthy mind, it all connects. So highly recommend that. Number 3 is talking to somebody. So there's such a stigma against this, and I find especially with men, I don't want to generalize just for men. I know that some women find it hard as well, but I feel like men have this thing where they have to be masculine and manly and can't talk to anyone about anything. But it is such a huge help talking to somebody who is not emotionally connected to you at all, someone outside of your friend and family circle that has no relation or connection to you at all, that you can just openly speak to. So I've been getting therapy or seeing counselors / psychologists / psychiatrists since I was a teenager, and I will admit it can take time to find the right one. There's times I've been to them and they're just terrible and I would never go back, and there's times where I found one that I absolutely love and then she ends up leaving. Or yeah, I've had all sorts of counselling and psychology, and I finally found one recently, or in the last couple of years, that I've gone to regularly, and she's been amazing. She's just very understanding. I feel very comfortable with her. So yes, it can take a while to find the right one. Have a good Google search. You can read about what they specialize in. Like for me, I suffer from PTSD and anxiety disorder, OCD and depression. Oh, it sounds horrible when I put it like that, but it is. But I am surviving, and you can survive too. So these are the things that really help me, and I definitely think talking to someone is huge. So she's been amazing, and it's just good having someone's perspective that isn't connected to my life, really. And a lot of in Australia you can get 10 free sessions if you go to your doctor, so it's really important to speak to somebody. I'm not sure about overseas, but I know that it isn't as freely available and as cheap in other countries. We're very lucky here, but they do have that Betterhelp as well, which is like online counselling. I'll link some things below again, but counselling is huge. Having someone to talk to, especially when you're going through something really hard, is massive. Definitely saved my life quite a few times, so speak to somebody. 4th thing is keep busy. So another thing that feels really hard when you're struggling, and I know someone who, when my anxiety overwhelms me, I find it really hard to concentrate on one task at a time. But for me, working has saved me. So I'm a disability support worker. I'm not sure what that's called in other countries, but that's what it is in Australia. I worked in so many different jobs for so many years, and this was the job that I just fell in love with. And obviously it can be really challenging at times, and it can exacerbate my anxiety at times, but then it is also keeping me sane because it is giving me a purpose, and my days are productive when I go to work. And yes, there are times when I struggle and I don't want to work. It's normal. I don't think there's anyone on the planet who has days where they want to work every single day. It is normal to feel that. So, but for me, working, and that's not possible for you, it could be something as small as picking up a hobby. Like, I enjoy DIY arts and crafts, so I love making things, whether it's making jewelry. I love doing jigsaw puzzles. I know I sound like an old lady, but I love them. I love making dream catchers, colouring in, like the adult colouring in books. In fact, I've got a couple right here. I love these. These are just kind of meditative, relaxing activities that help me as well. Also, just being around people that lift you up, so people that are positive and, you know, that can be supportive and support you during those times. I find that as I've gotten older, I've realized that there's some things that I just don't want to be around anymore, and I want to kind of take a step back and chill out a little bit. I always love a party. I'll always love having a dance and letting my hair down and having a laugh with friends, but I also need that time to just relax, and my priorities are so different now. Like, I am building a life and I am happy, and obviously I'm gonna have rough days like anybody. It's normal, but I'm surviving. And if you're breathing, that is the best gift that you could ever ask for, just to be here alive and breathing and embrace these days. So I always think as well that there's somebody out there who's struggling more than I am. I know when you're feeling terrible, you don't really want to hear that. That's just what I've learned over the years from other people in my life. But it definitely is, it's so true, and we can get caught up so much in our own stuff. That's why disability is amazing, because I realized that my problems are minuscule, in saying that people with disabilities are just normal people who are going through their own battles as well. So also, yeah, just keeping occupied, whether it's picking up a hobby, anything that you've been thinking about doing for a while, do it. Stepping out of your comfort zone, even though it can cause anxiety at first, it is actually so empowering. No one ever gets anywhere by sitting on their bum and not doing anything with their life. So if you want to get out there and achieve those goals, and you have things in your mind, like you want to learn the guitar, or you want to pick up painting, or you want to meet new people, there's so many ways that you can do that, and I highly recommend branching out and trying it and stepping out of your comfort zone. So number 5 would be meditation. Now, meditation is so important, and I know that it's something that a lot of people find really hard to do, because you are sitting there in silence, and in this world that we're in, we're constantly doing things. We're connected to our phones, we're basically cyborgs, we're constantly occupied with everything around us, but you need to have that time to be with yourself. And meditation will bring up things. It'll bring up thoughts and darkness and things in you that you didn't realize, but the whole point of it is to be able to sit with it and observe those thoughts and let them just pass you by. Now, I highly recommend just googling anything on YouTube, like healing meditation or guided meditation, and just sitting and listening. If you want to start with like a 5-minute meditation, that's fine, and then you can build your way up. Now, I need to do meditation more, because I get slack with it as well when I'm working and doing all this stuff, and I come home and I kind of just want to relax. But I often will play one before I go to sleep. And affirmations and meditation is so important, because you are what you think and what you say and put out there. So the more that I'm depressed or I'm anxious, which is just normal, you're expressing how you feel, but you need to trick your brain. Your brain is so powerful, and you need to trick your brain into thinking the opposite. So instead of saying I'm anxious, say I'm content, I am loved, I am happy, I am healthy. Just things like that, those affirmations. I have a really awesome app. So I've got so many. I've got Let's Meditate, I've got Headspace, I've got Ambience, I have Insight Timer. I have so many. But just have a look. If you type in meditation apps into whatever company or phone you use, you'll be able to find some apps, and you can just start small and then build yourself up, because meditation kind of gets you to be in the now. And I've always heard that saying that anxiety is living in the future and depression is living in the past, and contentment is living in the now, and I do believe that. So just remember, guys, that you aren't alone. You can get through this. These 5 things have helped me hugely. Not to say that I still don't have bad days, and I'm no expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trained in this. I am just talking from my own experiences. These are the things that have really contributed to my healing. So also all of the other things that I've mentioned in past videos, like manifesting your dreams and goals, having things like crystals around your house to help. Sometimes I'll just light a candle and play some cool music, chill out and watch like a really awesome series on Netflix, and smile. Also, force yourself to smile. I know it's hard when you're feeling so down, but smiling you'll eventually start to really smile, and then it's amazing. I have an app actually that makes you smile. Well, it tells you to smile, and I talked about it in one of my previous videos. It helps you to breathe and to smile, so I'll link that app down below as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you can be anything, please be kind. Peace, love, and vibe on. Okay, that was my Freya grumbling in the background. Be like your animals and enjoy life. Live in the moment and vibe on.